CRAZAST Celebrity Reactions in Court History. Celebrity legal issues have always drawn a lot of attention from the public, frequently transforming courtrooms into theatrical settings where people's reputations, wealth, and private lives are closely examined. Which celebrity reactions from court history are the craziest? Let's check out. Number 15. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The 2018 Washington Post op-ed by Amber Heard, in which she alluded to being a victim of domestic abuse without naming Johnny Depp, served as the basis for the defamation trial between the two celebrities. Depp filed a $50 million lawsuit against Heard, arguing that the article caused serious financial losses, harm to his reputation, and defamation. Throughout the trial, Heard's emotional and detailed account of the alleged abuse was in stark contrast to Depp's sarcastic and frequently humorous responses, which included times when he laughed at ridiculous accusations. The public and media were enthralled with the live broadcast trial, which resulted in intense discussion and moments of viral content on social media, with Depp emerging victorious. Number 14. O.J. Simpson. One of the most renowned trials in American history involved O.J. Simpson's prosecution for the killings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Throughout the trial, Simpson's responses were a major topic of discussion, especially his composed and calm manner, which many people took to mean different things. Dramatic moments arose during the trial, such as the glove demonstration in which Simpson tried to put on gloves that were purportedly used in the crime, but they didn't fit. This led to the defense's renowned statement, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." The public's reaction to the jury's not guilty verdict revealed the racial and social tensions surrounding the case, ranging from shock and outrage to relief and celebration. Number 13. Lindsay Lohan. Although Lindsay Lohan's legal issues were well known, her 2010 court appearance for probation violations resulting from a DUI conviction was especially noteworthy. Lohan sobbed and begged the judge for mercy in court, looking visibly shocked when she was given a sentence of 90 days in jail followed by a rehabilitation program. Her emotional collapse, complete with tears and cries for help, was caught on camera by the press and came to symbolize her difficult time. This case brought attention to Lohan's addiction and legal troubles, adding to the story of a once promising young star who is now dealing with serious personal problems. Number 12. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder was charged with stealing goods valued at more than $5,000 from a Beverly Hills Saks Fifth Avenue store. Due in part to Ryder's notoriety, the trial garnered a lot of media attention. Many people found Ryder's demeanor surprising given the seriousness of the charges because it seemed detached and almost bemused throughout the proceedings. Ultimately found guilty of grand theft and vandalism as a felony, she was spared prison time in exchange for 3 years of probation, 480 hours of community service, and fines. The case of Ryder brought to light issues of celebrity privilege and the intense scrutiny that public figures' personal lives are subjected to. Number 11. Robert Downey Jr. The media extensively covered Robert Downey Jr.'s legal issues in the late 1990s and early 2000s. His repeated arrests for drug possession and related charges prompted multiple court appearances, where his frank and occasionally ironic remarks attracted notice. Famously, Downey said of his addiction, "It tastes like gunmetal, and I feel like I have a shotgun in my mouth with my finger on the trigger." His acting prowess and early career success stood in sharp contrast to his struggles. After undergoing several periods of treatment and incarceration, Downey triumphed over his addiction, paving the way for one of Hollywood's most renowned returns, mainly because of his part as Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number 10. Mike Tyson. Former heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson was found guilty of raping 18-year-old Miss Black America competitor Desiree Washington. Tyson's responses to the widely reported trial ranged from visible indignation to bewilderment. Despite his constant protestations of innocence, the jury found him guilty and he was sentenced to 6 years in prison, of which he served 3. Tyson's conviction was a major setback for the boxing superstar and had a big effect on his reputation and career. The dramatic story of his life was further enhanced by his behavior during the trial and the conviction that followed. Number 9. Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton made a significant court appearance as a result of her 2007 probation violation case involving driving with a suspended license. Hilton, who is well known for her reality TV status and socialite lifestyle, reacted in court with shock and desperation. She begged for forgiveness and sobbed a dramatic departure from her typically calm public persona. She was given a 45-day jail sentence by the judge, which was later lowered. Hilton's tearful courtroom meltdown was caught on camera by the media and went viral, serving as a window into her legal issues and public persona. Number 8. Chris Brown. After a violent incident in 2009, Chris Brown was charged with felony assault and making criminal threats against pop star Rihanna, who was then his girlfriend. During his court appearances, Brown expressed his public regret for his actions and was clearly upset. When the graphic details of the assault were made public in court, the public was shocked and Brown's career and reputation suffered greatly. His emotional collapses during the trial and in the interviews that followed serve as a stark reminder of his regret and the dire consequences of what he had done. The case raised a lot of awareness about the problem of domestic abuse in the entertainment industry. Number 7. Michael Jackson. In 2005, Michael Jackson was charged with child molestation. The case received a lot of media attention. Jackson insisted on his innocence, and during the trial, he showed a range of emotions and calmness from composed to obviously upset. A noteworthy incident included Jackson showing up to court in his pajamas because of a back ailment, which was extensively reported by the media. Testimonies from witnesses and claimed victims were presented during the trial, presenting a complex and contentious picture of Jackson's life. Even though he was ultimately found not guilty of any charges, the trial had a lasting impact on his reputation and career. Number 6. Martha Stewart. The domestic lifestyle expert Martha Stewart was found guilty of misrepresenting a stock transaction to federal agents. The accusations originated from her IM-clone system stock sale, which was based on confidential information. Stewart exhibited a calm and collected manner during the trial, which was consistent with her public image as a methodical and collected businesswoman. Stewart did, however, momentarily cry outside the courthouse following his sentencing, which included 2 years of probation, 5 months in prison, and 5 months of home confinement. Given her prominent position, her conviction and prison term were noteworthy, and she subsequently succeeded in re-establishing her reputation and career. Number 5. Anna Nicole Smith. The public was riveted by Anna Nicole Smith's dramatic court battle over her late husband J. Howard Marshall T's estate. Oil tycoon Marshall married 26-year-old Smith when he was 89 years old. Although it was not stated in his will, Smith claimed after his passing that Marshall had promised her half of his $1.6 billion estate. Her emotional outbursts and impassioned pleas during her court appearances gave the impression that she was a widow fighting for what she felt was rightfully hers. Smith was able to carry on her quest for Marshall's wealth after the case was eventually taken up by the U.S. Supreme Court after going through multiple courts. Number 4. Phil Spector. Renowned music industry veteran Phil Spector stood trial for the 2003 murder of actress Lana Clarkson, who had been discovered dead in Spector's house. Spector's actions in court were closely observed. He frequently gave off the impression of being cold and emotionless, and his eccentric appearance, which included a number of outrageous wigs, attracted a lot of attention. The prosecution portrayed Spector as a man who had a history of abusing women during the trial. Spector claimed Clarkson's death was an accidental suicide, maintaining his innocence despite his strange and occasionally unsettling manner. He was retried in 2009 following a 2007 mistrial and found guilty of second-degree murder. He was given a 19-year to life sentence. Number 3. Charlie Sheen. The 2009 domestic abuse case against Charlie Sheen was the result of an incident that happened on Christmas Day with his then-wife, Brooke Mueller. Sheen was accused of misdemeanor criminal mischief, misdemeanor third-degree assault, and misdemeanor menacing. Sheen's demeanor in court varied from casual to obviously agitated, mirroring his erratic public persona. Eventually, as part of a plea agreement that included rehab, anger management classes, and probation, he entered a guilty plea to misdemeanor assault. This case contributed to Sheen's public perception as a troubled celebrity battling substance abuse and personal demons, as did his erratic behavior afterward and his high-profile departure from 2.5 Men. Number 2. R. Kelly. R. Kelly's legal issues date back almost 20 years, starting with his indictment on child pornography charges in 2002. In 2008, he was found not guilty after an emotional trial that included graphic evidence and moving testimony. Kelly exhibited mostly composed reactions in court, though he did occasionally display signs of distress. Kelly was charged federally with additional offenses in 2019, such as forced labor, sexual exploitation of minors, and racketeering. Kelly's behavior during these proceedings was a mixture of defiance and desperation. He insisted on his innocence, but was obviously troubled by the seriousness of the accusations. His legal struggles and the growing number of allegations of sexual misconduct drew intense attention, which ultimately resulted in his conviction in 2021 and drastically changed his reputation and professional trajectory. Number 1. Bill Cosby. Due to his work on The Cosby Show, Bill Cosby, formerly referred to as America's Dad, was the target of numerous sexual assault accusations. After a mistrial in 2017, he was found guilty on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault against Andrea Constant in a retrial in 2018. Cosby's behavior in court fluctuated between composed and stoic and obviously irritated, particularly during his accuser's testimony. While his defense characterized the interactions as consensual, the prosecution focused on a pattern of predatory conduct. The Me Too movement saw a turning point with Cosby's conviction, which brought attention to consent and power dynamics. Cosby's fall from grace was a dramatic and public reckoning with his actions, and he was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. These cases not only highlight the intense media scrutiny celebrities face in court, but also reflect broader societal issues and the impact of legal battles on public perception and careers. If you liked our today's video, then subscribe to our channel to receive updates in future.